Your feet tingle at night like 1,000 needles stabbing them. Your hands go numb for no reason. You feel burning sensations that wake you up at 3 in the morning. And here's the terrifying part. This is not just discomfort. This is your nerves dying, fiber by fiber, cell by cell, and the poison destroying them might be hiding in something you consume every single day without even knowing it's slowly shutting down your nervous system. Over 20 million Americans are living with peripheral neuropathy right now, and medical research from leading universities reveals something shocking. In most cases, this devastating condition is completely preventable. The damage doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, silent attack that starts years before you feel the first symptom. Your body has been sending warning signals that most people ignore until it's almost too late. Here's what makes this even more urgent. Research published in peer-reviewed medical journals shows that once nerve damage reaches a certain point, reversing it becomes extremely difficult. But if you catch it early, if you understand what's attacking your nerves and why, you have a real fighting chance. The medical establishment has known about this toxic substance for decades, but somehow the message isn't getting through to the people who need it most. This isn't just another health video. This is information that neurologists at major research hospitals have spent years studying, and I'm going to break it down in a way that makes sense. No complicated medical jargon, no confusing terminology, just clear, actionable truth about the worst poison destroying your nerves and what you can do about it, starting today. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment with your country so we can see how many people around the world are dealing with this. We're building a community of people who refuse to accept nerve damage as inevitable, people who want answers based on real research. This is your family now, and together we're going to fight back against the epidemic of neuropathy that's stealing quality of life from millions. Now let's talk about what's really happening inside your body when this poison starts attacking your nerves. Picture your nervous system like the electrical wiring in your house. Every nerve is like a copper wire wrapped in protective insulation called myelin. These wires carry signals from your brain to every part of your body. Touch something hot, your nerves send that message to your brain in milliseconds. Want to wiggle your toes? Your brain sends signals down through your spinal cord, through peripheral nerves, all the way to those tiny muscles. But here's where the nightmare begins. When this toxic substance floods your bloodstream day after day, year after year, it acts like acid on those delicate nerve fibers. Clinical studies show it damages nerves through multiple mechanisms. First, it causes oxidative stress. Think of rust forming on metal. That's essentially what's happening to your nerve cells. Free radicals multiply, cell membranes break down. The protective myelin sheath starts deteriorating like old insulation, cracking and falling apart. Second, this poison interferes with blood flow to your nerves. Your peripheral nerves need oxygen and nutrients delivered through tiny blood vessels called capillaries. When these capillaries get damaged, your nerves literally starve. They can't repair themselves, they can't function properly, and eventually they die. Research from leading medical institutions has documented this process using advanced imaging techniques. Third, and this is where it gets really insidious, this toxic substance causes inflammation throughout your entire nervous system. Your immune system goes haywire, trying to clean up the damage. But instead of helping, the inflammatory response makes everything worse. The inflammation damages more nerve tissue. That triggers more inflammation, and you end up in a vicious cycle that accelerates nerve destruction with every passing month. Most people don't realize they're in danger until the symptoms become impossible to ignore. It starts with occasional tingling. You might feel like your foot fell asleep. Then the tingling becomes more frequent. Pretty soon you're dealing with numbness that doesn't go away. You step on something sharp and don't feel it. You burn your hand on a hot pan because the temperature sensors in your skin stopped working. The numbness spreads from your toes up your feet, into your ankles, climbing slowly up your legs like rising water. But numbness isn't even the worst part. Many people would trade numbness for what comes next. The burning, the electric shocks, the sensation that someone is holding a blowtorch to the soles of your feet. Patients describe it as walking on broken glass, like their legs are on fire. The pain becomes so intense that even the lightest touch from a bedsheet feels unbearable. Doctors call this allodynia. Your damaged nerves misinterpret normal sensations as excruciating pain. And here's something most doctors won't tell you until it's too late. Once you start experiencing these severe symptoms, significant nerve damage has already occurred. Those nerve fibers don't regenerate easily. Some never come back at all. Medical research shows that by the time most people seek treatment, they've already lost 30 to 40% of the nerve fibers in their feet. That's permanent loss, gone forever, which is why understanding and stopping this poison now before it does irreversible damage is absolutely critical. So what is this poison that's destroying millions of people's nerves? What's this toxic substance creating an epidemic of pain, numbness, and disability? The answer is going to surprise you, because you've been told it's safe, you've been told it's fine in moderation. The poison is excess sugar, specifically elevated blood glucose, high blood sugar levels circulating through your body day after day, week after week, year after year. And before you think this only applies to diabetics, let me stop you right there. Research published in major medical journals shows that prediabetes, insulin resistance, and even consistently high normal blood sugar levels can cause peripheral neuropathy. You don't need a diabetes diagnosis to have your nerves destroyed by glucose toxicity. Here's what the studies show. Approximately 50% of people with diabetes will develop some form of neuropathy. But here's the shocking part. Research from top medical centers reveals that nerve damage often begins years before someone is officially diagnosed with diabetes. That tingling in your feet, that numbness in your hands, it might be from blood sugar levels that your doctor said were perfectly normal. The mechanism is well documented in scientific literature. When you consume sugar and refined carbohydrates, your blood glucose spikes. Your pancreas releases insulin to help cells absorb that glucose. But when this happens repeatedly throughout the day, every single day, your cells become resistant to insulin. Your blood sugar stays elevated longer, and that's when the nerve damage accelerates. Glucose molecules literally bind to proteins in your nerve cells through a process called glycosylation. It's like coating your nerves in sticky toxic sludge. Research conducted at major universities has measured this process. They've shown that even modestly elevated blood sugar levels, levels that wouldn't trigger a diabetes diagnosis, cause measurable nerve damage over time. One landmark study found that people with blood sugar in the high normal range had significantly more neuropathy than those with optimal glucose levels. The damage is cumulative. It builds up slowly, and by the time you notice symptoms, the destruction has been happening for years. But glucose doesn't just damage nerves directly, it also destroys the small blood vessels that feed your nerves. These tiny capillaries become stiff and narrow. Blood flow decreases. Your nerves don't get enough oxygen. Waste products accumulate. It's a complete system breakdown, triggered by one toxic substance that most people consume in massive quantities without realizing the long-term consequences. Clinical studies have documented additional pathways through which excess glucose destroys nerves. It increases inflammation throughout your body. It generates massive amounts of free radicals. It creates something called advanced glycation end products. These are toxic compounds formed when sugar molecules bond to proteins. They accumulate in your nerve tissue and essentially glue your nerves into a dysfunctional state. Multiple research teams have shown that reducing blood sugar levels can slow or even partially reverse early-stage neuropathy. The key word there is early stage. Once significant nerve death has occurred, reversal becomes much more difficult. But the research is clear. If you catch this in time, if you eliminate the poison before it does permanent damage, your body has an amazing capacity to heal. Now let's talk about the 5 most powerful natural compounds that research shows can protect your nerves, reduce neuropathy symptoms, and help reverse early-stage nerve damage. These aren't pharmaceutical drugs with dangerous side effects. These are nutrients and plant compounds that work with your body's natural healing mechanisms. Multiple clinical trials have validated their effectiveness. Number 5. Alpha-lipoic acid. This is a potent antioxidant that's been studied extensively for diabetic neuropathy. Clinical trials in Europe have shown that alpha-lipoic acid can significantly reduce pain, burning, and numbness in people with peripheral neuropathy. Here's how it works. Your nerve cells are under constant attack from free radicals generated by high blood sugar. Alpha-lipoic acid neutralizes these free radicals before they can damage nerve cell membranes. But alpha-lipoic acid does something even more impressive. Research shows it improves insulin sensitivity and helps lower blood sugar levels. Remember, controlling blood glucose is the foundation of stopping neuropathy. So alpha-lipoic acid attacks the problem from 2 directions simultaneously. It protects existing nerves from oxidative damage while also reducing the toxic glucose levels that cause the damage in the first place. Studies have used doses ranging from 300 to 600 milligrams daily, with the best results typically seen at the higher dose. Clinical trials have documented measurable improvements in nerve conduction velocity after just 3 to 5 weeks of alpha-lipoic supplementation. That means the electrical signals traveling through your nerves are moving faster, more efficiently. One major study found that over 60% of participants experienced significant symptom improvement. That's a success rate that most pharmaceutical drugs can't match without causing serious side effects. Number 4. The B vitamin complex, particularly vitamin B1 in a special form called benfotiamine, along with vitamins B6 and B12. Your nerves absolutely require B vitamins to function properly. These vitamins are essential for myelin production and nerve signal transmission. When you're deficient in B vitamins, nerve damage accelerates dramatically. Benfotiamine deserves special attention. It's a fat-soluble form of vitamin B1 that penetrates nerve tissue much more effectively than regular thiamine. Studies show it blocks several pathways through which high blood sugar damages nerves. It prevents the formation of those toxic compounds we talked about earlier. Clinical trials using benfotiamine at doses of 300 milligrams daily have shown significant improvements in neuropathy symptoms, including pain reduction and improved sensory function. Vitamin B12 is equally crucial. This vitamin is required for the formation and maintenance of myelin, that protective sheath around your nerve fibers. B12 deficiency causes a specific type of neuropathy that can mimic diabetic nerve damage. Studies show that supplementing with methylcobalamin, the active form of B12, can help regenerate damaged nerves and reduce neuropathy symptoms. Think of B vitamins as the construction materials your body needs to rebuild damaged nerve tissue. Multiple research teams have tested combinations of B vitamins in people with diabetic neuropathy. The results consistently show improvements in pain levels and nerve conduction studies. One 6-month trial found that patients supplementing with a B complex, including benfotiamine, experienced a 35% reduction in neuropathy symptoms. Their sensation improved, their balance got better, they could walk longer distances without pain. Number 3. Acetyl L-carnitine. This is an amino acid derivative that plays a crucial role in energy production inside your cells. Your nerve cells need enormous amounts of energy to function. When energy production fails, nerves fail. Acetyl L-carnitine helps transport fatty acids into mitochondria, where they're burned for fuel. This increases cellular energy production and supports nerve function. But acetyl L-carnitine does more than just fuel your nerves. Research shows it has neuroprotective properties. It reduces oxidative stress. It supports the production of nerve growth factors. Multiple clinical trials have demonstrated that it can reduce pain and improve nerve regeneration. One landmark study followed patients with diabetic neuropathy who supplemented with 2 grams daily for 1 year. By the end of the trial, participants showed significant improvements in pain levels, vibration sensation, and nerve conduction velocity. Clinical evidence shows that acetyl L-carnitine is most effective when used for extended periods. Nerve regeneration takes time, but patients who stick with supplementation for 6 months or longer report progressive improvements. The burning sensations decrease, numbness starts to recede. One of the most encouraging findings is that acetyl L-carnitine appears to support the regrowth of small nerve fibers, the ones responsible for pain and temperature sensation. Number 2. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil. Your nerve cell membranes are made primarily of fatty acids. The composition of those membranes determines how well your nerves function. When you provide omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA from fish oil, your nerve cell membranes become more fluid and functional. Research shows that omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation throughout the nervous system. They support myelin production, and they improve nerve signal transmission. Multiple studies have found that people with higher omega-3 levels have lower rates of neuropathy. One clinical trial gave patients concentrated fish oil supplements for 18 weeks. The group receiving omega-3s showed significant reductions in neuropathy symptoms. Their pain decreased. Their sensation improved. Here's another critical point. Omega-3 fatty acids improve blood flow to peripheral nerves. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your nerves. Studies suggest that doses of 1 to 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily provide optimal benefits for nerve health. Think of omega-3s as lubricant for your nervous system. Number 1. Curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric. This golden spice has been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years. Modern research shows why. Curcumin is one of the most potent anti-inflammatory compounds found in nature. Studies have shown that curcumin can prevent nerve damage caused by high blood sugar and may even help reverse early-stage neuropathy. The challenge with curcumin is absorption. That's why research studies use concentrated curcumin extracts, often combined with black pepper extract, which increases absorption by up to 2,000%. Clinical trials testing curcumin supplements in people with diabetic neuropathy have shown promising results. Participants experience reduced pain, improved nerve function, and better quality of life after several months of supplementation. Curcumin works by blocking inflammatory signaling molecules. By shutting down this inflammatory cascade, curcumin creates an environment where nerves can heal. Research also shows that curcumin helps prevent the formation of toxic compounds that accumulate in nerve tissue when blood sugar is elevated. Multiple studies have used doses ranging from 500 to 1,000 milligrams of concentrated curcumin extract daily with good results. Now let's talk about safety. While these natural compounds have excellent safety profiles, there are important precautions. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, consult with a healthcare provider before taking any supplements. Alpha-lipoic acid can lower blood sugar levels, so if you're taking diabetes medications, monitor your blood sugar closely. Your medication doses may need adjustment. B vitamins are generally very safe. However, vitamin B6 in extremely high doses can actually cause problems. Stick to recommended doses of 50 milligrams or less. Fish oil supplements can increase bleeding risk at very high doses. If you're taking blood thinners, discuss fish oil use with your doctor. Curcumin is very safe for most people but may interact with blood thinners and diabetes medications. The most important safety consideration is this. These supplements work best as part of a comprehensive approach that includes dietary changes, blood sugar control, and regular medical monitoring. If you have diabetic neuropathy, you need to be working with a healthcare provider who can monitor your progress. Now let's talk about practical implementation. First and foremost, you must get your blood sugar under control. This is non-negotiable. That means dramatically reducing or eliminating added sugars, refined carbohydrates, and processed foods. Focus on whole foods, plenty of vegetables, quality proteins, and healthy fats. Work with a healthcare provider to optimize your levels. For supplementation, here's a practical protocol based on research dosages. Start with alpha-lipoic acid at 300 to 600 milligrams daily. Add a high-quality B complex that includes benfotiamine and methylcobalamin B12. Take acetyl L-carnitine at 1 to 2 grams daily. Include fish oil, providing at least 1 gram of combined EPA and DHA daily, and add curcumin extract at 500 to 1000 milligrams daily. Start slowly with 1 or 2 supplements at a time. Give your body a week to adjust before adding another. Take supplements with meals to improve absorption. Consistency is key. Nerve regeneration doesn't happen overnight. You need to stick with this protocol for at least 3 to 6 months to see significant results. Track your symptoms using a simple journal. Many people start noticing improvements within 4 to 8 weeks, but dramatic changes usually take longer. Some people experience tingling as nerves begin to regenerate. This is actually a positive sign. Physical activity is also crucial. Regular movement improves blood flow to your nerves and supports blood sugar control. Start with gentle activities like walking. Even 10 minutes twice daily makes a difference. Balance exercises are particularly helpful. Here's what you can realistically expect. If you have early-stage neuropathy and you commit to this protocol, including blood sugar control, supplements, and lifestyle changes, most people experience meaningful improvements. Pain levels decrease. Burning sensations reduce in frequency and intensity. Areas of numbness may regain partial sensation. Balance improves. Sleep gets better. Quality of life increases significantly. However, if you have advanced neuropathy with severe nerve loss, full recovery may not be possible. The goal then becomes stopping further damage and maximizing function with the nerves that remain. One final critical point. Never stop prescription medications without consulting your healthcare provider. As your neuropathy improves and your blood sugar stabilizes, your medication needs may change. Your doctor might reduce your diabetes medication dosages. Blood pressure medications might need adjustment. This is actually a sign of success. Your body is healing, but these changes need to happen under medical supervision to ensure safety. This information changes everything. You're not helpless. You're not doomed to progressive nerve damage. You have real tools based on solid science that can make a profound difference. But knowledge without action is useless. You need to act on what you've learned today. Start by getting serious about blood sugar control. Eliminate the dietary poison. Then add the supplements we discussed. Give your body the support it desperately needs to heal. If this video opened your eyes to what's really destroying your nerves, if you finally understand why you've been suffering and what you can do about it, I need you to do something right now. Type yes in the comments. Let me know this information helped you. Hit that like button so YouTube shows this video to more people who need it. And share this with anyone you know who's dealing with neuropathy. Someone in your family, a friend who complains about burning feet, a coworker who's struggling with numbness. This could literally change their life. Subscribe to this channel because we're building something important here. A community of people who refuse to accept declining health as inevitable, who want real answers based on actual science, not pharmaceutical industry marketing. Every week we dive deep into the research and bring you information that can transform your health. You deserve to live without constant pain. You deserve to feel your feet when you walk. You deserve nerves that work the way they're supposed to. And now you have the knowledge to make that happen. The poison that's been destroying your nerves doesn't stand a chance anymore, because you're armed with truth, you're empowered with action steps, and you're ready to reclaim the healthy, vibrant life that's been waiting for you all along.